Logan, so off of a crazy trip, first off, you just got back from Fargo, right?
Yep.
What was in Fargo and what were you doing in Fargo? I understand that there's Fargo and there's cadets.
So there's last chance qualifier. So we had one of our guys, Morgan Smith, wrestled for Ohio RTC, 97 kilos. So he went out there, he competed, he won 3 matches and took first place. So qualified for the World Team Trials, which is cool. Guys, tireless workers in the room. So he's a great guy, great partner to have, and he works really hard. So I was really happy for him, able to win. It was close a couple times to being able to qualify, wasn't able to. So he just got back from an injury, and so he wrestled well and took first, and now, he qualified for the World Team Trials. Excited for him.
Okay, so now, last time we talked, you had Stieber lead at OAC, but
Yes.
you were in this transition period we really couldn't talk about at that point
Yes.
in time. They were hiring you for the assistant coaching job at Ohio State. Terval left. Which spot did you actually plug into?
So we just moved everybody up. So I just moved in the volunteer position, and I still will be coaching the RTC as well. I mean, yeah. So I kind of head the RTC as running it, in kind of all aspects of it. But of course, everyone coaches it, right? Tom and Jay and Bo, everyone's there. RTC press is in the room coaching it. So I think my name is as an RTC coach, but it's a big group effort. We all do the coaching. I do all of the other stuff as well, and then as well as Ohio State, so volunteer assistant at Ohio State.
Okay, so with that now, when Lou Rosali left, and now you lose Terval, those were your 2 big mainstays of the Ohio RTC. They are kind of what really made it happen, and then Logan Stieber winning a world championship, he was a big part of it. You are now kind of like the torchbearer, and your highest level athlete right now in the Ohio RTC would be Colin Moore.
Colin Moore and Amar Desi.
Amar Desi.
Yeah,
okay, he's an Olympian.
Right now.
He's an Olympian. Yep. Okay, so those would be your 2 highest level athletes.
Yeah.
I'm correct in that statement.
Yeah,
yes.
and then we just got Evan Henderson as well.
So Evan Henderson, that's huge.
Yeah,
Evan Henderson's a junkyard dog.
Incredible guy for the room. He's been great to have. He's getting ready to be here full time and move with his family and everything. So yeah, it's been awesome. He's been coming in a lot, and really excited to have him.
It feels like that's going to fall on you, though. It feels like a lot of that is going to be put on Logan Stieber to revive you guys to what you were.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you got 3 high-level athletes right now, if you're counting Evan, and then you're bringing other guys along who are guys who are getting to the World Team Trials. But you guys want Olympic and World Team members. You want world titles. You want models. Yeah, that's what the Ohio RTC is and what it has been. How do you get back to that?
I think the biggest thing is developing within. We've had a weird kind of exodus of guys recently, and really everyone has been right. It's been great relationships, and people just made good professional decisions. Luke going back home to coach at Pittsburgh. He's going to continue to wrestle, right? Coaching, he's from Pittsburgh, goes back home. Joey getting close to home in Philadelphia. Miles getting close to home, right? He wants to be close. There's a lot of family out there. So a lot of our Buckeyes, Bo moving on to coaching, Micah done wrestling competitively. For us, it's just continue to develop our guys. Where it's like in 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, all those guys would be still wrestling for us, right? It just happened to, they moved on into different parts of their professional life. So for us, the first and foremost is develop our guys. We have a lot of guys who are very young, who, good for the Buckeyes. They have a lot of eligibility left. Once they're done competing, they move on full-time RTC. But also we're looking, for people, and we reached out to a lot of people this past spring, and it's a kind of a transition year, right, after the Olympics. And again, we got 2 new guys with Evan Henderson and Kimball Bashan from Utah Valley. And a couple other guys were calling it quits or moving on to coaching. So we're going to continue to look for guys, more partners for our RTC athletes, and just get more guys that are elite. But I think the most important thing is developing our own guys. So when Sammy and Karchula and Caleb wants to keep wrestling, Ethan Smith and Tate Orndorff, all those guys, is they plug right into the RTC, where they keep getting better. They have good resumes, and they keep getting better, and we build within. And that's kind of, I think that's probably our biggest thing. And then and then just always looking. I mean, always looking and putting feelers out. I mean, a lot of people try to steal or try
well,
to.
it's part of the name of the game.
Try to,
name of the game, and it's better for them usually. It's a better pay or whatever it is.
So for us, it's, we want to get somebody or we want to reach out. We always try to make sure we reach out to the coaches and try to give a little common courtesy, like, hey, we're looking at this guy, and stud, and that's what we did with that and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. And I've had a lot of great coaches and mentors in the past. So, and again, I think my name's on the website, but it's everybody. I mean, Jay's coaching, Bo's coaching, so yeah, and we're all doing it, but yeah.
Okay, a name that you did not bring up. That's a big name. Olympic gold medalist Kyle Snyder.
Yes.
You guys lose Kyle to the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club, and I know that's a big divide amongst Ohio State alumni, and everybody gets pretty fired up talking about it. But I've never heard you say boo about anyone, really. I've never heard you say a bad thing about people.
I have a pretty good relationship with everybody, so I mean, it's obviously it would have been nice to keep Kyle in the room. He wanted to change, and so he did his thing. But I mean, I don't dislike anybody. And Kyle actually texted me the other day, and so I'm excited to see him wrestle in Rio. And he's gonna be in Rio. I was in Rio with him. I'm excited to see him wrestle in Tokyo, and it's gonna be a great weight. So yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, if we could have kept Kyle, it would have been good. But sometimes just people need change, and the little girl was at press that ball. Sometimes people need changing, right? And I'm excited for Colin, because now Colin's our guy, and is a great challenge ahead of him, a great challenge, and it will be fun to see if he and we can meet the challenge.
Well, that's a huge challenge, right? Obviously, you're in the Olympic trial, best 2 out of 3 against that guy.
Yeah.
And the last match was close.
Yeah,
you scored offensive points.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was the last match is kind of how I thought, how I really wanted the first match to go, because I think the last match gives Colin confidence. The first match, with Kyle, kind of bullying him around the mat, pushing him around, it makes it tough. He gets the lead, and then it starts. Colin's got to chase, easy go behind. So the last match was how he wants to wrestle, or at least the beginning of it. So try to build from there, but I mean, it's a big challenge. You don't just go in and beat the returning gold medalist, and life's good. You move on with your life. It's hard. So it's good to feel him, and it'll be a big challenge.
When you guys look at the hits you guys have taken in RTC, and now it's your job to build it, staying and being in Columbus, right? You never had to move.
Yes,
you never had to move. You didn't have to go to Ann Arbor. You didn't have to go to Happy Valley. You didn't have to go anywhere else for them to want to keep you here.
Yeah.
Right? What was that like for you to be able to just stay in Columbus, and then eventually Tervel leaves and you're able to fill the spot, and you didn't have to do anything to up your value to Tom Ryan. Your value was already there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously internally, I've been there the last decade, and so that we have really great relationship with everybody. So I was very happy to be able to stay. I mean, I love Columbus. Me and my wife love it here. We live here, and it's a great situation. So yeah, we really like it, and I mean, obviously, life takes you all different places, but I'd like to stay where I'm at. It's a good deal, so I love it. Yeah.
I refer to you as a killer. I know you've probably heard that before. You are. You have dark eyes like a shark.
Got some killers in here today.
Yeah, but like you were the guy that brought this whole like Ian, my nephew.
Yeah.
You used to mop him. He told a story on the podcast. His first live wrestling match was against you.
Yeah.
And your dad was yelling, "Rip his arms off!" And he was.
My dad was a little psycho.
Your dad was. You were arm barring him.
A lot more relaxed now. Yeah.
Yes, you were arm barring him, and you mauled him. And my sister-in-law Stacy had never seen wrestling live.
Yeah.
And you killed Ian and you mopped him up. But you made all those guys so much better. You made Hunter so much better. You made Johnny so much better. You made Gus Seiko so much better. And Guy talked about it. But what's it like being a guy who changes a generation of wrestlers in the state of Ohio and the United States of America? And you did everything. You fulfilled all the prophecies, I guess, in Ohio. And you won a national title here. You won 4 titles. What was it like to bring like a whole group and a whole fan base and put them on your back?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think it's something you can't really ask to do, or I think when you ask it, when you're in it, it's tough. When I look back, it's like I wasn't planning that. It was like I put my full trust in Bernie, and I did whatever he said. Right? He trained me like an animal. My dad trained us like an animal. And then when I got to college, I did the same thing. Put my trust in Jay and Lou and Tom and Ross, and I just listened to him. I trusted him fully. I listened to him, and I knew, like I told these guys, when things didn't go right, it was on me, because they wanted to do everything and they can. If they could have wrestled the match for me, they would have. So I knew they cared so much. So, you know, I this was really good people around me. Just really lucky, and you know, you can never just tell a 16-year-old, 18-year-old, like, you need to change the generation in the next 10 years of wrestling. You need to change everyone around you and make them way better, because it's just almost really impossible ask. But I think if you have the right people around you and you trust them, then you know that's possible. And obviously, we've had great success, and the people around me have done well. And again, it's what everybody kind of together, right? It's me, and it's working with Bernie, and people coming in, and then they're wrestling all of us together, and then it's me and my brother, and then it's Cam and Chris, and then it's all these guys. Pretty soon we have a room of 50, and 50 is 40 killers. You know? So it's obviously it feels good. I mean, I've had great success, so it feels good, and I'm excited to move into the full coaching aspect of it.
Yeah, tell me about being a killer now as a coach. Will you go in 4 days a week, 5 days a week and wrestle? Or will it be 2 or 3 days a week?
Yeah,
and
I wrestle as needed. So some weeks I'll wrestle 7 times, limping out on Friday, you know.
You'd wrestle?
If they need me to, I'll wrestle. You know, we have so many tough guys. There's weeks where I'll wrestle once or twice. I won't wrestle at all. I'll wear this and just I'll run practice, and Jay will wrestle. So it just depends. I mean, ideally I wrestle 3 times a week, 3-4 times a week, and I'm good to go. But if I'm wrestling, if Sasso says, hey, you want to come in Monday morning and wrestle, I'm like, perfect. And Patty wants to come in on Tuesday, and then Malik wants to come in on Wednesday. It's like, I'm not going to say no. So, you know, if I'm hurting, then I'll say, hey, let's go the next day. But yeah, I wrestle these guys as much as needed. And, you know, I guess for my sake, it's nice that we have a lot of really tough guys in the room. So I don't necessarily need to wrestle every day, but I make sure I keep wrestling just in case I need to put it on somebody.
Anthony's a mutant.
Yeah.
Dylan D'Amelio is like opposite end. One guy's just like the super grinder. This other guy's just like thoroughbred, right? And then you got a bunch of guys in between them. You got Carson. Do you get as big as wrestling guys like Carson? He's massive.
I wrestle with Carson a little bit. I mean, Carson is
mutant.
He wrestles like a foreigner, and he's very proficient in wrestling. So I'll wrestle with Carson for sure. I try not to. Sometimes I wrestle with him and he crushes my neck, but I'll do a lot of sparring with Carson. If I need to wrestle with him live, I can wrestle with him live. You know, as you get older, you're a coach. You're not too concerned about giving up takedowns. So, you know, if I get in a position where I'm getting my butt kicked, I just go home and have a nice night and not care. so I mean, it doesn't.
He can hurt you though.
Doesn't happen too much.
He's a massive guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some people, I feel like I can protect myself pretty well. So, you know, if I feel like I'm in a position where I might get hurt, I'll just roll over. You know, I'm not gonna hurt myself. So
let's give it up.
Yeah, and you know, yeah. So Carson's a beast. I probably, you know, wouldn't wrestle too much bigger than that. But
Patty's a weight below.
Yeah, Patty's small. I wrestle with Patty.
You like Patty?
Patty's
workhorse, isn't he?
Workhorse, yeah, workhorse.
He was what you were. Your senior year of high school, everything you won. Patty won everything like that this year.
Yeah.
And he's that good, in my opinion. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
I think you guys can build around him, and I just got to keep everybody healthy, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, you had a year where you had a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. Was it your hand that year? So you know. OAC. Coming back to OAC, you were 3-time junior high state champion. They did not have the great school yet. So you won as many as you could. But coming back, giving back to this, and seeing the killers in the room today, I remember you as the same thing. You know, you're a little killer like this, but what's it like to see Ohio wrestling still having an upward trajectory?
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's great. I mean, especially for the Buckeyes. You know, it's you know, a lot of our studs have been Ohio guys. So, and that aspect, it's awesome. We'd love to see that the state doing well. But just coming back here, I mean, there's so many kids that that were in my club and that I've worked with before, and it's just very, very fun and very, very exciting to have all these studs together. It's pretty cool. So a lot of tough guys, and again, it's fun. I enjoy doing wrestling camps, but it's fun to do a camp with lots of studs. And, you can teach higher technique. I mean, the stuff I showed at the end was pretty high level technique, where I wouldn't show that to a beginner going through. So pretty fun.
How does your body feel?
I feel good, really good now.
What ultimately ended, like when you retired in an Olympic year? I was like, for that guy to
2 years away from Olympics here.
Yeah, the way it ended up, yes.
Well, it ended up 3 years.
Okay, but the way you retired in the middle of a cycle.
Yeah.
What I said to people was, and I can't speak for you, but you can confirm or deny this. Like, well, that guy's got to be really banged up for that guy not to chase Tokyo. What was it ultimately?
Yeah,
back?
So my back and neck were really bad. Back and neck were really bad. And I just needed time. I did all the shots and everything, trying to get it better. And nothing worked while I was competing. So I got stem cells in my neck and good to go. Feels great.
So you're good now?
Yeah, good to go now.
So retirement. Coming out of retirement, we're going to see you go on. No.
So there was a combination because I tell people this, and they don't. Sometimes they say, "Oh, you're so young," but you know, if you probably remember, you probably were in the rooms and stuff. But from probably not at 8 years old, but from the years 8 to 28, I mean, we trained. I trained like an elite athlete.
I saw it.
I trained harder than our college guys.
Yes.
I mean, just and it's just a lot. You know, it was just a lot. So I was ready. You know, I was ready after 16. I was ready to be done. I thought I was going to make the team and go to Rio and medal, not medal, whatever, and just be done. So, and when that didn't happen, I knew I wanted to go a little bit more. But it was everything. It was my body. But sometimes I think, if I think about it, I'm like, you know what, maybe it was easy to say my body when really, mentally I was out of it as well. So it's kind of a mixture. And as you know, it's hard. So it's like, I didn't really have to cut too much weight, but I didn't want to have to cut any weight anymore. I didn't want to have to train like an animal anymore. And I didn't, and everything hurt. So it was really a combination of everything. And I was done. And I never wanted to go longer than I enjoyed it. I mean, wrestling, it got stressful. Wrestling was never stressful, and it got stressful. And it like a point where it was like, it was not fun anymore. And I knew for me, and some people will wrestle forever. I mean, Morgan wrestled a guy who's 60 last week.
What?
Hinckley, he wrestled at every event. He'll wrestle till he's done wrestling. He loves it.
60-year-old guy?
60-year-old guy, yeah. So
that guy loves it, though.
He loves it.
You
right?
didn't love
so
it anymore.
For me, it was like, I don't want it. And I like wrestling. Wrestling is fun. I enjoy wrestling. But it was every like competing and everything. I was ready to be done, and I felt very good about my career, and I that plus all the injuries, I was good. I was tapped out.
When you won a world title, though, did that kind of validate to you that okay, I can now walk away from this and I'm okay with my career?
Yeah,
did that help?
I think it helped. For me, you kind of get caught up in this rat race of it's literally never good enough, right? There's no right. There's nothing.
It's like Snyder. Snyder's done it, and it's still not good enough for the guy.
Enough, right? If JB wins in 2016 but doesn't make the team in 2021, not good enough. It's like but it is.
No. To me, I'm like, I think those guys are amazing.
But it is. But sometimes where there's other people or yourself, it's not good enough. So it's like you kind of get caught in this like I'm just checking the box. All right, win the tournament. All right, what's next? All right, I won the Worlds. All right, now I got the World Cup in February. All right, lost to that event. Okay, now I'm back down. It's like back up. So you become, So the hard part is being driven. Like, listen, I want to win everything, but also being realistic and content. Like, listen, I wrestled well. I had a good year. I had a good year. I made the world team. It didn't medal, made the world team. Good year. I won the nationals. Didn't make the world team. It was a good year. So it's hard. You get caught up in it.
It's just never enough.
It's never enough.
It's never enough.
So
and what's crazy is you were not a 65, 66 kilo guy. You were a 60, 61 in my opinion.
Yeah.
You were a tweener then.
Yeah, I was tween. At the end, I felt pretty full size.
Yeah.
Olympic trials, I felt more than full size. In 18, I felt full size. I mean, I think at the beginning, you know, it would have been nice to have 60, but I mean 61 was like on my deathbed.
So 134.
Yeah, so that was
132, 134.
134. Yeah, so the 61 I was cashed in pretty quickly after making that.
All right, I know you got a wife. I know you got stuff to do.
Yeah, it's a long interview, huh?
Yeah. You got. We'll try and get you on our podcast or something if you got time.
Yeah.
Do you got anything else for me?
No, just awesome. Thanks for coming up. It's a great day.
I've been watching you do the cutback since you were like a middle schooler.
Yeah. Some of these guys got it. Some of these guys, Cohen Rear and Ryland, they can. Those guys can wrestle. They had good cutbacks.
Thank you for the time. Good luck to you guys moving forward. Go Bucks.
Yeah, thank you.